I'm not sure how to carry this on because the things I know that you will definitely judge my ex, that particular ex for, but things were different. They were different. People saw things differently back then, but it doesn't mean I agree with it. And I'm not going to go into everything. So he's not done anything that's considered bad to society. It's just my older two children and myself. And I think TikTok may have banned some of my videos from certain things I've said. I don't know what I can say and get away with it, but let's go in with this. So I always think, yes, it does make a difference. Now, in society, people think that saying the odd word is the same as unaliving someone. They treat it all the same. Oh, it's all the same. No, it's not. It is not. Taking someone's life away is not anywhere near the same as saying one or two things that isn't very nice. We all, and remember this, guys, we're human. We're all going to say something that's going to upset or offend somebody else. Intentional or unintentional, we are human. It might not be something that we like to be on the receiving end of. I know I haven't, but it happens. I've been on the receiving end of it and I've said it myself. I admit it. I am not perfect in that relationship. I know that I've said or done things that people sometimes, again, the bigger picture, psychologically, what's going off, hereditary factors, peers, whatever's going off, being on the spectrum, that makes a difference as well. I have known of that. If it's not been my own experience, it's been somebody else's. I have learned, and obviously common sense tells you, if you've got a healthy mind, you can work it out. Now, what annoys me is that there are people who don't see the difference in that, and it is different. It is different. You can't see all that the same way. It's you can say something you don't like and think, oh, did that sound worse than it was? Or you can say something that's not very nice and you should take back. You can apologise, try and make it up to them. People can change if they want to as well. That they can do. People can forgive. I know the government doesn't want us to because they see a certain A, B, U, S, E everywhere. Even an argument is that now. It's not. It's not. And you got to think, my whole life, I have been, the whole world worked differently to that. And it worked. But it didn't work, obviously, it didn't work for the government where I've got my views. I'm not going to go into political stuff. I've got my views. It's all political. And obviously, social media and society are bought into it. We don't need to buy into it. Come on, we can't trust. I'm not going to, again, political. I think most things are really. But anyway, with my ex, I wasn't going to judge him. I was going to support and help him, give him the chance. It was something that he could have got over and dealt with. I've always said to my sons, don't get upset about the little things because they're easily dealt with. Now, a healthy mind would easily deal with that, would see that. But there are a lot of people that obviously aren't. And it's not a judgment. I've not always had a healthy mind, but because they haven't had a healthy mind, they judge. And yes, there are people who are victims. I'm not saying they're not, but there are people who will make things worse than they are when they're bad enough already, will play victim when you're really not. Or there are people who, instead of getting the help and getting a healthy mind, supporting the other person or whatever, they will, something will happen to them. Like something could have happened to me and I didn't have to get the help. I could have kept myself a victim. I could have told everybody offline or online. Well, online wasn't a thing back then, but I suppose I had other stuff going off. I could tell anybody online. I could badmouth that other person. I can cause trouble, do whatever I want to do. But I've got a healthy mind. Thank you, guys. I got the help. I don't want to stay in that place. I want to move forward. And it begs the question, if somebody's doing all of that and making things, I could make things worse than they are. I could shock you all. I could really make you hate this person, dislike this person if I wanted to. I don't want to. I'm not that person. And what does it say about my mind? Does it make me better than my ex if I'm doing that? Because, yeah, he did stuff to me, but do I need to do things back? You know what I mean? You know, it's not the tit for tat thing. I don't want to do that. I don't want to do that. I want to keep my mind healthy. I don't want things to eat away at me. I got the help straight away and I worked with it for a long time. If ever something's wrong, I will recognize that and get the help. I wanted to move on and live my life. I want to be positive. My life, I struggle with my own problems as it is with my health. I don't need anything else bringing me down, thank you very much. I've had a very turbulent adult life, and yes, I have got things wrong and chosen the wrong person, which has made that turbulent. But I don't need to make things worse than they are. I don't need to be more of a victim than I am. I don't need to get you all to dislike this person. I don't need to badmouth him. I know I'm saying something now, but this is not. This is not me badmouthing him. If I wanted to, I could, but this is not. But I don't want to give details and names. I don't want to warn everybody because I don't need to do it. This person now, and this is what I mean, given a chance, and I wanted to support him, he has moved on with his life and he's living a good life with his family. So what's the point in making things worse for all of us? I'd be holding myself back and causing unnecessary problems for the whole family. But there are people who will do that, and a lot of people will do that. That's not me. And if it's you, why is it you? Hopefully people agree with me. My hair is wet, by the way. It looks stringy. But yeah, a healthy mind just wants to move forward, just wants to enjoy their life. They don't want to carry things on, or they don't want to make things worse than they are. They don't want to have whatever thing's going on offline. Whatever, you move on. If you've got a healthy mind, get the help. It's not always easy as just getting it. I know that. From professional and personal stance, I know that, but you can get it if it is there, and it is there. It's difficult. There's almost no services available, but there is something, and you can pay privately. Again, it's not always easy, but it's not like there isn't any help at all at the moment. There is something there, and there certainly was up until recent years. So I want to support someone. My that person, it wasn't nice to myself and my children. It wasn't the very worst. I'm not going to go into it, but I was happy to take him back 3 times to give him the chance. Obviously, in the beginning, it wasn't as bad as it didn't progress on, but it wasn't nice, and it wasn't ABUSE, not at all, but it just wasn't nice for us. And of course, I want to support him because it benefits me for the man that I love, the father of my children. It benefits him. Of course, I want him to get the help that's available to him because he can be a productive member of society. He can change if he wants to. Remember, if you want to change, people can. Anybody can. But there are people who are probably, like I said, need to be kept away from other humans. I've got my views. I'm not going into that right now. I've got my views on all sorts of things. But yeah, I want a healthy view. I want a healthy mind. I want a good life of what I can get of it. I want to enjoy myself. I don't need sympathy, guys. Honestly, I'm just telling my story and my mindset. And please, just don't. There's no hate. I don't need to hear horrible comments towards him. Because I'm sharing my story, it doesn't mean that I'm trying to build up hate. That's not what this is about. I could do, like I said, if I wanted to. That's not me. He had a terrible time growing up throughout most of his life until probably his early 20s. It is understandable. I understand that. Even though we felt we were victims, I still understand that. Looking at it from an intellectual view. And I can move on from that. It's not going to eat away at me. But yeah, well, like I've said, I've always taught my boys, don't get upset over the little things, because you'll not be able to deal with the bigger things. If you blow the little things out of proportion, the bigger things will just not be able to cope with it. We can cope with things, guys. We can support each other. There is something out there. We can do it. Believe me. We are strong if we just, with the right support, with the right mindset, and a good conscience as well. Remorse and a good conscience is the difference between, and realization is the difference between not repeating mistakes, but doing something that you shouldn't be doing and then learning from it and moving on, getting help, whatever, and going down a really dark path. A really dark path. I don't even want to think about that. I'm happy to support someone struggling in my life. I'm happy to forgive them. And then we can move on to a great relationship. And that's what I have in my mind.